It began with a single question, one that echoes louder every time he sets foot on British soil. Who protects Prince Harry now? Once shielded by royal duty and public resources, the Duke of Sussex now moves through his former homeland with privately arranged security. But a quiet legal effort, now growing into something louder, has cast a new spotlight on his position and raised fresh questions about legacy, entitlement, and safety at the highest levels of British power. The headlines mention it briefly, a review, a request. But beneath those bland words lies a storm of emotion, policy, and principle. Because this isn't just about one man's bodyguards. It's about what the monarchy owes to those who leave, and what Harry's campaign says about the future of the institution he stepped away from, but has never quite escaped. Before we unpack what this really means, a quick note to you, the viewer. Each week, thousands watch these stories, but only a fraction subscribe. If you find these deep dives valuable, stories told without spin, grounded in truth and curiosity, then please subscribe to Crownverse. It's how we keep going, and how this conversation grows. Prince Harry's request for a formal government security review may sound procedural, but to royal watchers, it's a red flare. He's asking, through legal and official channels, that the rules be reconsidered, that someone in authority reevaluate his right to publicly funded protection when visiting the UK, even as a non-working royal. In simple terms, Harry is challenging the system that stripped him of automatic security after stepping back from royal duties in 2020. He's not asking to be treated like a prince. He's asking to be treated like a potential target, a figure whose fame, visibility, and past, both military and royal, make him vulnerable in ways the system should account for. It's not just about money. Harry has made it clear that he is willing to pay for police protection himself. What he's asking for is access to trained officers, intelligence systems, coordination with British services, things his private team, no matter how experienced, cannot replicate. And so the request becomes political, legal, symbolic. Because behind it stands a man who once represented the strength of the Crown's youngest generation, a man who fought in Afghanistan, who built charities, who, not so long ago, was celebrated as a bridge between modern Britain and a monarchy often seen as out of touch. Now, that man must petition the very institutions he once served, and from which he now stands apart. The review, if granted, could set a precedent. It would mean reconsidering how security is provided, or denied, to former royals, especially those who remain in the public eye. It might open the door for other exceptions, or for criticism that the system is too easily bent by privilege. But to Harry, it's about risk, threats, and responsibility. Since stepping down, he's lived mostly in California. He's spoken openly about the emotional toll of royal life, about media harassment, about the legacy of his mother's death. His lawsuits against tabloids continue. His interviews remain headline material. And through it all, he's claimed that returning to the UK, whether for charity, family, or duty, should not come with unnecessary danger. Some argue that this is just another episode in the long, slow unraveling of Harry's royal ties. That by asking for special treatment, he invites criticism. That security, like status, must be earned through service, not requested post-exit. But others see it differently. As a father, a veteran, a global public figure, Harry has legitimate concerns. His profile, whether royal or not, brings attention. And attention can bring risk. Still, the question remains, where does public duty end and private responsibility begin? If the government grants his request, it may face backlash from those who believe Harry has chosen a different life and must live with its consequences. If it denies him and something were to happen, the public reaction could be devastating. The royal family has not commented publicly, nor has there been any indication of internal support or opposition from within the firm. This silence, too, is telling. It reflects the monarchy's current posture, cautious, neutral, and quietly distanced from Harry's legal battles. But behind closed doors, the tension likely lingers, because a security review isn't just about logistics. It's about perception, about how the public sees the line between royal and former royal, and about how far a family and a government are willing to go to protect someone who chose to step away. The request also brings up deeper emotional echoes. For Harry, the memory of his mother, chased by cameras, unprotected, and ultimately lost in a Paris tunnel, is never far away. It shaped his decisions, his advocacy, and his critique of the British media. To deny him security in that context feels, to some, like repeating the past. But others argue that Harry cannot have it both ways. That by leaving royal duties, moving abroad, signing media deals, and critiquing the institution, he has changed his role, and therefore his entitlements. But is safety an entitlement? Or is it a basic expectation for someone who, through no fault of his own, was born into a life of public attention, security threats, and enduring visibility? These are not just legal questions, they are questions of legacy, loyalty, and risk management. And they come at a time when the monarchy is trying to project unity, modernization, and control. This latest development may not dominate headlines for long, but it adds another layer to the ongoing complex relationship between Harry and the country he still calls home. Whether the review happens or not, the issue will remain. Because security is not just about guards and gates. It's about trust, recognition, and the acknowledgement that even in departure, Harry remains a symbol, not just of royal drama, but of the Crown's unfinished conversations. As more details emerge, and as legal arguments are made in private, the public watches, some with sympathy, others with frustration, but all with the awareness that the lines between royal and private, public and personal, are blurrier than ever. And Prince Harry, once the spare, now the outsider, continues to walk those lines with both determination and vulnerability. For now, we wait to see what the review says, to see what the government decides, and to see if the Crown, silent though it may be, is paying attention. And if you believe in following these threads with care, with clarity, without the noise, make sure to subscribe to Crownverse. It's how we keep going, and how this conversation grows.